good?
Got a new truck, huh? How you been?
Good. How you been, buddy?
You're working.
Yeah, I picked up a couple of cars over the last because Olivia's starting to drive now, and Eddie will be driving in another couple of years too. So
You look
figured
good.
I'd grab some cars and
I haven't
shit.
seen you for a while. I was wondering how you're doing.
I know I've been running into Dale. I see Dale down there. He's down on Eddy Street.
You doing okay?
Yeah, yeah. How you
Good.
doing? Oh, hey,
No, it's awesome. I haven't seen him in a long time. It's been a while. That's
Yeah, I'm
good.
doing good. I've been doing some work for the guy George down there at the laundromats, trying to help him out a little bit with his gig. He just picked up another one on Holyoke, so
Doing
that's been going on.
laundromats?
That's what I did for a long time. I did that for years.
What, fix washers and dryers and shit?
Yeah, appliances and shit like that. I used to run all the laundromats for a dude in Connecticut, and he had laundromats everywhere, all over New York. So I used to go back and forth from Mount Vernon, and then he had.
He had enough of them where he kept you busy just fixing
Yeah,
shit
he
constantly.
had. Actually, he's big in everything. He's multi-billion dollars worth of property all over the place. I mean, Florida, Connecticut, New York. He had New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Their family was very, very wealthy. But laundromats was one of their gigs. The old man started off with his first house that he lived in. He bought it in Stamford, Connecticut, a little house on Prospect Street, and then the family worked it up from there to what they had today. Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Wow.
And then he just went through. Before I was leaving, he went through getting rid of some laundromats because he was building some from scratch. He was always big on owning your own place for a laundromat. Otherwise, the rent kind of takes up a lot of
The
big chunk
profits,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah. So this guy's going through that, but he doesn't seem to mind. You know, he's going
Because he doesn't see the other side of it yet. Once he sees the other side of it, he'll mind.
Yeah, he's ready to do this one in Holyoke as a rental too. And I was trying to tell him, and he's like, no, because the plumbing's already there and everything. Yeah, but still, man, I mean, you're paying the rent, you know. Yeah, because laundromat was already there before, so he thinks that it's a better idea. I mean, the place is Kmart Plaza, the old Kmart Plaza there, but so it's a good location for a laundromat. But there's better, and I grew up in Holyoke, so I know all the stuff.
You do this for turning it to sell, or you doing this for
No,
your
no,
kids?
this one I'm gonna give it to probably Olivia. Can take this
Nice.
one. Yeah,
How the kids doing?
they're doing good. They're doing good. Yeah, she's ready. I think one more year for her. She's been doing high honors and shit like that at school. So yeah, they're happy with that. You know.
Dad, you happy in school?
Yeah, he's liking it so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I said to Thomas, you want to go back to a different, you want to go back to not school? He goes, no, I like where I am, Dad. Otherwise, I'm just going to go back to where?
Yeah, yeah.
I said, okay.
So he's still at the same place that when
No.
you guys took him out of where?
No, we took, he's in a nice fucking school now.
Private
Jeff
school.
is-
You went
yeah.
private.
He's killing it.
It's the way to
It's
do
great.
it.
He's killing it. We're not paying for it. School fucked up totally.
Oh, that's good. So you
They didn't even
school choice
fucking.
then.
Yeah, they didn't even. No, he's got his own bus that comes and picks him up at the house, brings him to Westfield, Mass.
So
And
school
brings him
choice.
home.
So school
Yeah.
choice. They found the school that could handle it.
Well, because
Well,
the
that's
school
nice.
didn't
Good.
fucking. They didn't do their shit. They didn't.
Correct.
He couldn't read in 7th grade. He was memorizing words. They didn't never taught him how to read.
Right.
And they were hiding it.
Yeah. They did.
And you know what? It would have stayed that way if we didn't hire somebody to bring him to a place where he was diagnosed.
Right.
So that, because we were going back and forth in 2nd grade with that shit. Anyway.
Yeah, everybody learns at
But
their
he-
own level, though.
But he had friends in school, like he likes, and I'm thinking Summer's going to be here in 2 weeks. Holy shit. What do you have? You got 2 weeks left?
Right? Something like that. I don't pay
It's
attention
not
to this
much.
shit.
No.
Yeah, the thing is, though, man, I kind of regret putting Olivia on the spectrum, but I felt I had to get her the extra help too. But she is also she's lacking in memory. But stuff like that. But now here she is, high honor student and everything like that, getting almost straight A's on all her grades. Learning all shit that I, as a parent, do not want her learning. I don't want her learning none of the shit that you guys are okay with your kids learning.
Oh, no.
To me, it's all lies. Everything. Just everything. History, the math. The fucking math is a lie. Everything is a lie, as far as I'm concerned. And then when I'm watching all these kids go through this, you have to get them on a spectrum, or they don't get the help. So we kind of like got stuck putting her on the spectrum. Now she's labeled for life. She kind of forgets about the label a lot of times. It's still in my mind fresh because you got to get the IEP every year. You're not just a regular kid anymore. Now you're on a list. You're whatever it is,
I know.
ADHD
Yeah.
or autism or whatever,
Whatever
you,
it is,
you
right.
pick them, right? So kind of like the other dude Jay there with his son Jack, same thing. He had to make a choice. Now back when we were kids, any of those things that would have happened that Thomas went through or Jack went through, or even Olivia was going through, it would have just been, hey, they all learn at their own fucking levels. You're putting all the, that's why in the old days you used to have fourth graders in the same classes with eighth graders and 12th graders and shit because you were keeping the kids all learning at the same level. So if you had some kids that were brilliant and they learned all the lies and they learned the lies well, then you put them up with the other grades, right? And then you put them with the other grades that all know the lies well. The ones that aren't really paying attention and they're hemming and hawing, they're learning at a different scale and they have a different way of learning. We have no appreciation for that anymore. That was purposely stopped. In other words, Thomas learns in a certain way. I noticed it when we were hanging out, his way of learning. And I noticed the difference in the way Edgy was. He's going to be a good slave. He's going to go along with all the bullshit, all the lies, no problem. And they'll get it B's and A's, right? You know, because we were saying learning to read, right? And stuff like that. We all have our own level on how we're going to read and what we're going to read. And if you really think about it, we're pushing them again to learn all the lies.
To learn to be a slave.
To learn the lies, yeah. Because even all the everything that we have to read and the spellings of it, especially being an American, I mean, we really overdid it, man. I mean, you can go to all the other languages, Tagalog, right? Chinese, Russian, they're all very easy languages. And they don't have all the lying letters like we do. We got an extra 9 letters in our alphabet, unnecessary. Don't even need them. O for one, O, zero, don't exist. I'm telling you. The zero was another one with the math. There's no zero and there's no infinity. Those are human concepts, but yet we teach our kids, and your wife's an accountant, been through this before with you. You know, zero is a fucking lie, but yet we all live by it, you know?
I'll
It's
tell you what,
crazy,
though,
man.
Thomas. So Thomas comes home yesterday. Yep, Dad, got 2 detentions today. Proud of it.
There you go.
Fucking
Good.
no, he hates his history teacher. He's got no business being a teacher. Guy doesn't know shit. This
Right,
is how my
right.
son talks to me now.
Right.
And you know what? The bottom line is, he might have learned a lot of lies and shit, but he knows shit that I wouldn't even fucking begin to even want to know.
Right.
Because I was not that kid.
Right.
I was the fucking kid skipping out and getting stoned before third grade English, or whatever.
Which might have been a better thing, though. It might have been a better
Hey, it
thing.
worked for me. I did all right.
Yeah,
I mean,
because really, we're lying to them to tell them to set them all up for college, right? You and I know that the shit we've been fed over the last, let's say, 30 years regarding Thomas, get a good education, make sure you go to school and get all A's and B's. It's bullshit because now you have to spend. Let's say you want a career like your wife has in accounting or a doctor or something that's going to pay well, right? So now you're striving. So now you got to pay $150,000 for an education that you're very low on the totem pole when you're starting out. And I know some others. My cousin's an accountant, right? So he had to pay for his education. It's going to take a while to pay for that education when they get
pay for that shit.
Yes. And then meanwhile, they get you addicted to all this shit you don't need, right? Shit that we don't need, right? Whatever it might be, stuff. Just all
Just stuff. Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That really is unnecessary. We don't need it.
Right.
Zombie faces in the fucking computers and the phones for all of our opinion, right? So everything we know we get from the internet or from the school, all liars. The television, all liars.
Yep.
Our parents, all fucking liars. And our parents, maybe they didn't know, but we are smart enough to know. And we see that education that we're striving for our children to get is really, it's not a guarantee for sure. And then when you look at the numbers of the ones that are actually getting those jobs and what you pay to get them, it doesn't really work out in the wash, especially when they keep killing us on taxes more and more.
It's funny. I had this conversation when I took my wife to work today because she wanted a ride and so I said, sure, I'll drive you. And I'm like, we're talking about the subdivision. And I'm like, it's not even fun anymore. The house we're living in, it isn't even 20 years old. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't build that house today.
Right.
Now I got to build a house Use outside sheathing that's got a rubber membrane on it. Tape all the joints. Have somebody come in and test it and tell me it's leak-proof for air,
I know,
which is
that
against
makes no-
everything.
Yeah.
It goes against everything that I learned as a builder with a house breathing properly,
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they make you do all this shit, pay all this extra money, but they don't make you put a generator on the house. So what do you think happens when the fucking power goes out for a week?
Yeah.
Moisture and everything builds up in those walls and in the roof.
Right.
So now you created a mold situation that you would have never even had.
Right. And because your
So
house
you're not
can't
going to
breathe,
make
it's
me
getting
put
worse.
a fucking generator in if you want me to do all this, but you're not.
Right.
None of this makes sense to me.
I know.
And I'm like, and furthermore, it's not even the government. It's not even the state.
It's the 7.8 billion
It's
zombie
every,
slaves I
it's
told you about.
every fucking, now it's even in the town.
Yeah.
They're going to tell me how to,
Yeah.
we paid 6 figures on this land and they're going to tell me how I want to work with it.
I know.
None of this is right.
I know. It's not right.
It's-
The trees are more important than yours and your wife's and your family's health. Really, what it comes down to, because they're not allowing you to use your own land to do what you intended to do. Not without a fight, anyways.
There's
You'll
enough
do
money.
it, but
There's
not without
enough
a fight.
money on that hill.
Yeah.
To bring somebody in, lose some material, put the fucking Mass Pike in there for a road if that's what I want to do.
Right.
Pad my bank account,
Right.
throw some houses on it so the town gets their money
I know.
and walk
Taxes,
away from
too.
it. But I
You're right.
can't do any of that.
Yeah. Oh, they are still giving you a hard time. I figured you'd be blown through all that by now.
I
So
fucking
it's
haven't
not
been
fucking-
fighting it really hard. Thomas has been my main concern for the last couple of years, but he's doing pretty good now. So, but
He was doing good all along.
he was
It's just
doing
that
good all along.
We have to fucking convince ourselves that these are wrong things that our children are doing, and they're really not. They're learning experiences. You could say that he's growing and he's learning things. He has his own personality. Oh, fuck no, not a personality, right? So even if that personality
Exactly.
is rubbing people the wrong way, it's a personality.
Oh,
At least he's not fucking. At least he's not zombied out, right? So
You know what happened in school, right?
Yeah. With
You know,
him,
the kids put a radio on in the back. They were teasing and playing Spanish music.
Okay.
And
You said it was the S word or something like
he
that.
looks back and he says, "Why don't you turn that Puerto Rican shit off?"
Okay.
And so the kid says,
That's it.
"You're
Yeah.
prejudice."
Yeah.
So he gets. So that's why the teacher was.
Yeah,
when you
everybody
said
pulls
your
that
son's
now.
there, right? I'm like, you're worried about one of these kids coming over
Yeah.
to my kid. You ought to be worried about what I'm gonna do to this kid for bringing that shit to my son.
Yeah.
Not that I'm fucking old, you know, I'm 60 years old, but that's bullshit. And this is a little fucking guy.
It's the school system that's you know what I mean. That's fucked up.
Well, what do you think of the new
That's the way-
teacher?
I mean, look at all the false flags that we get and stuff. So the school system's just as dumbed down as the parents
And
are.
I don't like it. Let me
No.
tell you what, if I had a daughter that was a senior, you're a good dude. I'd be like, now they want to let people just, a guy can walk in and say, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
go and check her out.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
That ain't right.
Crazy.
None of that's
I
right.
know, and they don't even tell us. Anyways, you have to find out through the kids.
Yeah, right.
You have to
Exactly.
find out through the kids because
Exactly.
everything's a secret.
Exactly. It's all bullshit. And
Yeah, but they do the same
I'm
thing.
old-fashioned, hey.
They do it the same thing with the lockdowns. I complained about you for years ago. I remember
oh,
talking
you
to you
got in
guys
trouble,
about
yeah,
it.
because you were trying to find out what was
Yeah.
going on with your kid.
And then they started the new rule where now if they have a lockdown, no parents are allowed on school grounds.
Was that because of you?
That was because of that meeting. Well, that was because
Well,
of that
that's
meeting.
good though.
Well, not really, because
No,
every
because
parent
then
that I
you can't
talked to since we did this. We conversated about it, and nothing ever gets done because
No,
we
I-
all got to go to work and we all got to go do our things. So no one really gets together and marches down the fucking town hall with pitchforks
Well, I said that.
and fuck, you know what I mean?
Well,
Because then they'll call us terrorists. Because you have to
so
worry
then
about
Michelle
that.
says
you
this.
know?
I go, so what the fuck? She goes, well, it's real simple. There's 10,000 people in this town. They can't get 100 people together for a vote. So they cut it down to 50.
Right.
So now when the
I know.
farmer wants something,
Yeah.
they tell everybody to bring your families to come in, and that's enough to fill the quorum to get the vote through.
Yeah.
Same thing for
Oh,
the
yeah.
police.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, I don't get it. But anyway.
Well, that's what they're doing now too, because now the chief's got his son on the force now. They have picked up on a lot of traffic shit, right? So right now, what I've been seeing for the last year and a half with the police force has been crazy. I'm actually doing a series right now to the auditors that are out there and see if, for different reasons, but just I'm using this as one of my bitches as I'm calling them out on my usual shit, which is showing people the system. That's what that camera's running for. You know, yeah, my usual thing.
Listen, I thought you were way out there when you were saying this shit 10
It's
years
there,
ago.
man.
I
It's
see
there,
it now.
dude.
So different. Michelle and I
There.
bring you up quite a bit about that. I'm like, you know,
I
he was
should do
way
is I should
ahead
give,
of
I
this
should
shit.
give you my channel. I should give you my channel name and show you what's all around us.
I don't
Because
even have your
vid-
phone number.
my videos are running. I know I lost your number too. I'll exchange them with you. And I don't know my
Give me
new
your
number either. So I gotta look it up on my phone.
So I
Someone
give you
just
my-
taught me how to
my
do
number,
this.
Just call it. You got your phone on you? 413?
Wait up. Make sure this thing's not on. I'm gonna talk about what I'm gonna talk about anyways, but Reed is our town accountant. You know Reed and his wife, right? Your wife's in the same business, so tax collector.
Yeah, you know. Oh yeah, you know they sent her stuff to pay. They wanted her to stop paying money on taxes and shit for her business,
Yeah.
and she's like, no.
Right.
She knows loopholes around that, so she's like,
Sure.
but they've been trying to pull this shit now for 3 or 4 years.
Sure,
They do this to everybody.
Sure. Yes. Each a jam collect people that make jam, jelly. Yes, they're on everybody about everything. Yeah.
I want my mother-in-law needs a roof. So I'm getting older. I'm not gonna. I know how to do a roof. Why would I do that when I can bring some guys in that'll do it in a day?
Right. Right.
In order to get a building permit, I got to show them proof of insurance,
Why do you need a building permit to tear off?
tear off, and put it on a new roof.
But I mean, it's not a go over. Go over, you shouldn't even need a permit.
No,
She's
it
already
is
got
gonna,
3
I'm gonna
layers.
strip it. No, it's 2 layers. But second, once there's 2 layers, you're done. You got to rip
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
You can't go to the third
No,
layer?
No, so then you get you ready for this
Wait a
one?
minute, there's 2 layers and you can't go to a third layer.
Right.
Is it always been that?
Yeah,
I just been
yeah.
breaking the law?
Yeah.
All right.
That's okay. But the thing is, not only do you fucking turn around and get, and I was always the contractor that made sure everything was done by the book. Now I'm like, fuck the book. It's all corrupt. Every bit of it's
Yeah.
corrupt.
Yeah.
So why does the town official, these people that don't even live in the town, they get money because that's how they get paid.
Right.
So I'm gonna give her $1,000 just because she's in that office.
Right.
She's not gonna come
Is
out
that
and
what
look
they
at it.
want for a permit now?
Well, it's $7 on 1,000. So if it's a $6,000 roof, it's $600, right?
That's fucking ridiculous, man.
Basically, it gets worse. Then you got to go to the fire station and get a permit for the dumpster for the 2 days it's going to be there for the shingles to go with it.
Oh shit.
Because the fire department, they need to get theirs too. Like, I'm sure they're going to send a fire truck over there to make sure there's no fire fucking hazards. It's
Wow.
all bullshit.
Wow.
I am fucking.
Yeah, that is fucking
It goes,
crazy.
just cuts through.
Yeah,
me
because
like,
it's every
oh,
day,
God.
man. It's every day.
Fuck.
As we talk to each other, we keep learning. Like I told you about the chickens. They no more than 6 chickens now.
Yeah, that's
And
bullshit.
they take away the roosters. My neighbor down here has a rooster, so someone 3 houses away cannot because my property's smaller. Makes no fucking sense. You know what I mean? So the laws and the rules that are created under every fucking president, none of them were good. Obama to Bush to Trump, they all fucking sucked because they all took away our rights more and more as they all came in.
Exactly.
Pretending democracy this and so the politics is all a lie. The math is a lie. The fucking science is a lie. It's all been a fucking lie, and we can see it all. So I started turning people onto this, even if because I'm a little
You
bit.
turned me onto this 10 years ago when our kids were smaller. You were telling me shit, and you know what? It's coming.
Yeah, everybody should be able to start seeing it now. I'm posting these videos and showing people the system, but as soon as the words come out of my mouth, people get scared away, and that's pretty typical. It's always been that way because everybody wants to believe in whatever politics. They want to believe in their religions. They want to believe in the science if they're not religious, right? So they want to believe in all these things. So it's hard to explain to people that every single thing you've ever heard, learned, thought, taught, programmed. Now that's pretty thorough.
It's a lie.
It's been a lie, yes. So it's not an over dramatization. The words that are coming out of my mouth, it's exactly what I'm saying is true. So how do I prove that to you? By showing you the fucking system, and that's what I'm doing with the cameras. I'm showing them so that I don't have to stand here and tell you about it, because telling you about it, you're not gonna want to get it.
We were driving the other day, and Michelle looks up and sees that. She goes, "Looking at this, that comes to fucking dumping."
Trails, yeah.
I'm like, you know what, Michelle? Remember saying this shit 10 years
I'm
ago.
beyond the trails now, though.
I
I'm
said-
so far beyond the trails. The trails, I
But
got away
when
from
you
it
were
now.
saying
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
No one was buying it.
Right, right.
I look back now, and
There were tens of thousands online, and it just goes to show you how many people can be there involved in that situation, and it still get nowhere with the rest of the population. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there are tens of thousands of them that were online, but they were all bringing people down the wrong paths and false roads. And like you have one group that would call it geoengineering, and they would bring up Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030, which you guys have learned about in the last few years. So they tell you in Agenda 21, this is the plan,
I think
and
they,
this is
I
what we're
think
going
they,
to
I
do.
think they're just trying to take out a good piece of the population. Period.
Oh yeah, they are. They
That's
are.
exactly-
It's already
And it's
successful.
happening.
Sure, the food we've been eating the last 50
Exactly,
years.
exactly,
oh,
exactly.
yeah.
All that shit, you know,
Yeah.
because there's guys like guys on a football field. He gets a hit, dude. When we were younger, I've been higher than that house on a fucking dirt bike and crashed and got up
Yeah.
on a bike. Never, and I got
Yeah.
I hit the ground harder than that guy ever could have got hit by the other guy.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
Well, the
the
vaccinations
guy walking,
are huge.
guys are walking.
Yeah,
Oh, but
I
they're
mean,
not
the
even putting it on the
vaccinations
backs.
are
They're not even.
huge.
Well,
That
that
shit's
was,
all
but
on
the
the
golfer
backs.
just died last week. They said he overdosed.
Excess deaths, right? Because we had 330,000 excess deaths in the United States in 23. So that means that if you look at those numbers, and everyone's ignoring that, that's more than died from the original COVID. And then
Yep.
our government is so tyrannic, and it should be so obvious to everyone now. They dumbed down our kids. They closed down our businesses. They did all this mandatory shit all over the place if you were government related. Matt, put a diaper on your face. All
Yeah,
fucking
right,
day.
exactly.
All the shit they
All
did.
the shit.
So it should be obvious to all of us, but if you noticed, if you walk around,
I
nobody's
still see
admitting
people
to
with
it.
masks on.
And not only that, but they're not coming up and apologizing, saying, hey, sorry I threw you out of the store.
All right.
Or, hey, sorry I punched you in the fucking mouth. Or the police aren't coming out and say, hey, sorry we arrested you for going into Walmart without a mask. You know, it wasn't really right of us. We're just going along
But
with
it's even more than that now. There's guys that guys stabbing little girls with a knife.
I know. I was just telling Kathy
That
about that.
shit is sick.
Well,
That
was it a guy? Was
Oh,
it a guy?
yeah. See, that's what
Was it a
exactly.
guy? Or is it a girl?
Like that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, right?
And
That's
if
just how
you know the
fucked up
story
it's at.
behind that prick, his father is a fucking Looney Tunes psychiatrist, right? Who we all pray to every fucking night when we go to bed. And he already
They
got him out of a
created that.
murder. Well, they got him out of another murder about a year
in
ago.
Connecticut.
Yes. So they got him out of that
See,
murder
you're
by
following
saying
this
that he's disturbed and it was accidental and he should be get off, and he totally got off.
But then they put him in a thing and they kicked him out and said he's fine again, and then he
Yeah.
goes, he's stabbing kids.
Yeah.
Now, 50 years ago, well, you're in the city. You're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, depending on how bad you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
There may be cops here that fucking smack you around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that guy should get his ass kicked before he ever makes it to the cell. But because now there's some of these cops that got picked on when they were kids
Yeah.
that have
A lot
no
of bullies
business
now.
doing that, right? They become bullies, not just guys that
I know.
should be a cop to begin with.
Right.
They
right,
shouldn't
good.
even be a cop.
I know.
They do this shit, so now the police are bad. You can't.
No, you know what fucked the cops
It's
up
so
too?
fucked up.
Is the good cops, because we know of them. We know they're out there. We know them. I grew up with
I
them.
used to have to run home,
Yeah.
and you know what? If they got me, I knew I had it coming.
Right. But
It was
but
different.
even then, they were breaking our constitutional rights, but we were dumb kids and we didn't know it. Now, when I'm looking back on it, even all those cops, when you really think about it, there was never a victim. And the shit that you were doing, so you were riding your motorcycle, your dirt bike on the fucking street for 10 minutes going up the road, right? So you got to be in fear. There's no victim. There's no victim. I got caught on my dirt bikes down at Bears Hole,